Okay, I genuinely don't even know how to start this. Like, have you ever opened TikTok and you're expecting to see your friends where you DM and stuff? Yeah. But then suddenly realized every single friend blocked you because yeah. Let's just say that kind of happened to me. And the worst part is I haven't even been on TikTok all that day. So I'm just sitting here like, okay, what if TikTok's glitching, because TikTok does that. That's what I was thinking. No, because I will just say this. TikTok wasn't glitching because I literally deleted the app, reinstalled it, deleted it again, reinstalled it, and it still said account not found. What? And I had like a full entire list of names that said account not found. And so, yeah, TikTok wasn't glitching. So I checked again, still blocked. Checked another person, blocked. Another person, blocked. And I'm like, what did I do? Like, what could I possibly have done for every single person to block me? No, whenever I say every single person, I don't mean like everybody that I had in my friends list. There were still some people that I still had added, but what did I do? Possibly wrong. Because these aren't just people from TikTok, these are people I've known for quite a few months. Some of these people I've known for, yeah, quite a few months. Some of them I've known for a couple days. And I swear, the last conversations I had with them were completely normal. We were joking, we were sending stupid videos, we were talking about school and stuff, we were talking about games, just normal stuff. So, how do you go from laughing to someday one day to somebody one day to them completely disappearing from TikTok the next? And then someone finally told me why, and that's when I realized this might be a lot more complicated than I thought. So yeah, we're talking about it. Let's actually talk about what happened because, phew, there's a lot of things we gotta unpack. There is so much things that we have to unpack. And before I get into this, I want to make something very clear. I'm not making this episode to attack anybody. I'm not going to say their names. I'm not giving you usernames. I'm not going to show private information, and I definitely don't want anybody listening going to search for these people. And that's not what this is. This is basically me trying to tell you guys what happened from my perspective, because honestly, I'm still trying to understand it myself. So, what actually happened? Because I've been really busy, and I haven't really gotten on TikTok that much that day. So eventually I get on TikTok and I'm just doing my normal thing, checking messages, look at my videos, check my notifications, and then I notice something weird. People aren't there anymore. At first I'm like, okay, maybe TikTok is being stupid, dumb, retarded. Because TikTok likes to glitch sometimes. Accounts were disappearing, messages were disappearing. Sometimes you can't even find somebody. Sometimes I couldn't find anyone. So I was just immediately thinking, everybody hates me, but then I checked and I realized, no, I was blocked. And then I checked someone else's blocked, another person blocked, and another blocked. And I'm just sitting there like, what is happening right now? Like, what could I have possibly done for everyone to sit there and block me? Like, huh? Because, I don't even remember, doing anything. I'm just sitting there. All these people were blocked, 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 blocked. I'll pop up an image, not of anyone's usernames, but of a list that says account not found. Even, mind you, even some of my best friends blocked me because of this situation. And I'm just sitting there going, what is happening right now? Because this wasn't one person, it was multiple people. And that's when I started getting genuinely worried. These weren't just random people, and I think that's part that people might not understand. These weren't just random TikTok noodles. These were people I have been friends with for months, for days, and I've been in their lives for months, for days. I've been a moderator for most of them. So yeah, and one person, like I told you earlier, one person was someone I considered one of my closest friends. really close. So when you suddenly can't contact someone that you've known for a while, it's different. It's not like, "Oh, somebody unfollowed me." It's more like, wait, what happened to us? And that's honestly what hurt the most. So I started going through everything. So obviously my brain goes into investigation mode. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, what did I say? Did I send something? Did I accidentally offend someone? Did someone misunderstand something? Did something happen while I wasn't online? And then I started thinking to my last conversations, and this is where things get really confusing. Because my last conversations was with a really good friend who looked normal. The conversation looked completely normal. We were talking about random things, school, TikTok, video games, cars, funny videos. Just normal friend stuff at this point. But then at one point I was sending a bunch of goofy videos, and yes, I know, I said a lot of goofy videos. Like, I know, I send a lot of goofy videos. Don't come at me because I know I love my goofy videos. But like, my gosh. Like, I'll see something stupid and immediately think, oh my gosh, they have to see this. So I'll send it, then another, send another, send another. And eventually I'm probably single-handedly changing the entire TikTok algorithm. But that's what they even joked about. They said something about me spamming them goofy stuff. So I apologized and they said that they were just messing around. So I'm thinking everything is fine. The last normal conversations. And honestly, that's why this has confused me so much, because just before everything happened, we were literally talking normal. They were joking with me. They called me annoying younger brother as a joke, and then clarified that they wouldn't change my goofiness and that they appreciated my goofiness. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, we're good. There's wasn't some huge argument, there wasn't some giant fight, there wasn't a message saying don't talk to me anymore, nothing like that, at least. Not in this conversation I had. But no, so like when I suddenly got blocked, I had no idea why I got blocked. I tried to get an answer. Now, because I was confused, I wanted to know what happened. I didn't want to fight, I didn't want to start drama. I just wanted to like answer, like because I was so confused. Like I don't know, but like I wasn't trying to start drama. I just wanted this answer, so because of how confused I was. So I ended up using an alternate account and trying to apologize during a live stream, basically saying that I was sorry, I didn't know what I had done, and if they could please let me know what I had done, and I apologize and stuff. And they didn't respond, and then that account was blocked too. And honestly, that was when I realized, okay, I need to stop making alternate accounts and trying to apologize. Because even though I wanted some answers, if someone blocks you, you can't keep making accounts to get around that. I understand that now. At this time, I was just confused, hurt. But now I realize that's giving someone space to. That's giving. I cannot speak for the life of me. But now I realize that giving someone space is important too. Like realize that I need to give other people space, especially because these friends weren't like around my age; they were more adults. But then someone finally explained. I'm not gonna drop their name, but on my alternate account, they actually messaged me back. They unblocked me just to message me back. And this is where things changed. So they basically told me that I was a good kid. Like, okay, I get that. But like, what does that I'm a good kid, but for you to block me, what does that have to do with anything of this? That they also said they wanted me to be a good kid and spend time with people my age. Again, what does that have to do with why I'm getting blocked? They said some of the edits I made crossed a line that they were not comfortable with, and they emphasized that they're an adult and I'm a child, and I get that. Again, what does that have to do with the blocking? But honestly, the edits, like I thought they were goofy myself. I don't know why. Like, okay, mind you, with these edits, I didn't post them. I really didn't. I did not post these edits at all, you guys. Whenever I said that, like, she blocked me and then she said that the edits I made crossed the line that she wasn't comfortable with, I didn't post the edits or anything because I would never do that because they had her face in it and stuff. So I would never post stuff without anyone's permission. I just made the edits and sent them to her. I didn't post the edits. Like, I was just so confused. They also said it wasn't hate. They said they were trying. They said they were making what felt like I can't speak. What's that one meme that goes? But no, they said that they were making. They said they were making what they felt like were appropriate adult decisions, and they wished me the best with my podcast. Then I read that, which I'm probably about to reread that again because I messed up. My brain. I need to rub my two brain cells together and think. I'm gonna reread that though. But no, what they basically told me was, I'm a good kid, okay? What does that have to do with anything? They wanted me to be a good kid. But how do you want me to be a good kid if you said I am a good kid? They said that, but they told me to spend time with people my age, and I understand because she's an adult, I'm a child. But also, again, what does that have to do with you blocking me? Because I thought we were friends. We were always talking about each other and stuff. They said some of the edits I made really crossed a line that they weren't comfortable with. But she could have just said that nicely. No, she didn't even say anything. I sent her the edits and all of a sudden, boom, blocked. I didn't post the edits. I just sent them to her. They weren't posted anywhere. And she also said that that I cannot speak, that they are an adult, I am a child, and I understand that. They also said it wasn't hate. They said that they were just trying to make what they felt were appropriate adult decisions, and they wished me the best with my podcast. And when I read that, I had a lot of emotions because part of me was still thinking, but what did I do? But another part of me was, okay, they're telling me I made what made them uncomfortable, and I need to listen to that. Intention versus impact. Intention versus impact. And this actually taught me something. You can have good intentions, but you can also you can have good intentions and still make someone uncomfortable. That's hard to hear because when you're thinking, I didn't mean anything bad by it, like I didn't post them, I just sent them to her, your first instinct can be, or your first your first thought can be to defend yourself. But sometimes the better response is, okay, I didn't intend that, but I understood that it made her uncomfortable. Those two things can't exist at the same time. I can know that I didn't intentionally try to cross a boundary, while also respecting the fact that somebody felt like I did. That's something I'm gonna remember. Okay guys, before we get back into today's drama, we have to take a quick little break because today's episode is sponsored by Cash App. And yes, Cash App is sponsoring Drama Podcast. And Cash App is also our very first sponsor of the podcast. So if you're a new Cash App customer, here's something you might want to know. For a limited time, new Cash App customers can earn $10 when they use the code CashApp10. And when they use the code CashApp10 in their profile when they sign up, and then send $5 to a friend within 14 days. That's CashApp10. And of course, all terms apply. So make sure you check the official information before participating. And I know you're probably thinking, okay, Drama, what's the actual fine print? So let's get through that. Let's get through that real quick. Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services are provided by Cash App, bank partner, or partners. Prepaid debit cards are issued by Sutan Bank, member FDIC. And discounts and promotions are provided by Cash App, a block, INC. As an incorporative, I think, a brand. For full disclosures and terms, check out cash.app/legal/podcast. That is cash.app/legal/podcast. I'll also have the sponsor information available with today's episode. Back to what you actually came here for, because we have already talked about people blocking me, friendship, drama, the mysterious edits, and I still have more to explain, so let's get back into the drama. Okay, where were we? Oh yeah, the part where everything got complicated. The part that hurts the most. And this is probably the hardest part for me because I didn't think this person is just an online friend. I basically thought of her as kind of like an online mother. Someone who had been there, someone I could talk to, someone who joked with me, someone who supported my podcast, someone who gave me advice. So when that relationship suddenly changed, it hurt. And I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I didn't. I'm still a little hurt. I'm still a little confused, and yeah, I kind of miss them, but I also do understand something now. If an adult tells me that they need distance because they aren't comfortable with something, I need to respect that. Even if I don't like it, even if I'm sad, even if I don't fully understand it. Let's talk about online friendship. And this actually brings me to a completely different topic, online friendship, because I think social media can make relationships feel really complicated. You can talk to somebody every day. You can send them videos. You can joke with them. You can share things with them. You can become really close. And because it's online, sometimes it can feel like everything is happening inside one little bubble. But people still have boundaries. People still have lives outside the app. And people can decide they need distance. That's something I think everyone on social media needs to remember. And I'm a drama podcaster, which makes this whole situation kind of ironic because my entire podcast is literally called Drama Podcast, and I talk about drama. I love talking about drama. I love investigating of what happened. I love hearing both sides, but there's always a difference between talking about drama and making somebody else private life public. And that's a line I'm learning too. Just because something is dramatic doesn't mean I need to expose somebody. Just because I'm hurt doesn't mean I should post their private messages. And just because I want answers doesn't mean my audience should go looking for those answers for me. So I'm not doing that. What I want to say to them is I can't send this directly right now because they blocked me. But if they ever hear this, I want them to know that I'm sorry. I'm sorry that the edits made you uncomfortable. I genuinely didn't intend for them to cross the line. But I understand that they did for you. And I'm sorry that I tried to contact you from another account after you blocked me. I was just confused and I wanted answers, but I understand now that you were asking for space. And I'm going to respect that. I'm not gonna keep trying to force contact. What about the other people? And then there's the other question. Why did everybody else block me? And honestly, I don't know. And I'm not going to pretend I do. Maybe they had their own reasons. Maybe they heard something. Maybe they agreed with the boundary. Maybe there was a conversation I wasn't part of. I don't know. And that's probably the most frustrating part. No, obviously, I want to know. But I can't invent an answer just because I don't have one. So for now, I'm leaving that question unanswered. The biggest lesson, if there's one thing I'm taking from this, is boundaries. Sometimes somebody can say I'm uncomfortable, and you don't have to argue with them. You don't have to say, but I didn't mean it, but you also don't have to try to convince them. You can simply say, I'm sorry, I understand, I'll respect that, and that's what I'm trying to do. But also, I forgot to mention this. Like whenever I first started this, whenever I joined their live on an alt account, they were like, "You stalker, you need to f off." Like, to be honest, why would you tell a child to like? Why would you curse at a child? But something else, I don't want this episode to make anybody think that if a friendship ends, all the memories suddenly become meaningless, because that's not true. The funny conversation still happens, the good times still happens, the people still matter to me, and I can appreciate those memories while also accepting that the things have changed. That's hard, but I think that's part of growing up. Quick topic change because this is the drama podcast. Okay, so we're gonna take a little break from the emotional stuff because I need to talk about something completely random. Why are TikTok algorithms so weird? Seriously, one minute you're watching a cute puppy video, then you're watching somebody restore a car, then somebody is making a 3-hour video about a haunted house, then suddenly you're watching somebody make a cake shaped like a toilet. Like, how did we get here? Honestly, I think that's part of why I send so many stupid videos, because TikTok gives me something completely ridiculous and I'm like, somebody else needs to suffer through this with me. So to whoever has received 47 random videos from me in one day, I'm sorry. Social media break. But seriously, I think one thing I'm going to try to work on is not letting social media become my entire world. Because when something happens on TikTok, it can feel huge. You're staring at a screen thinking everyone hates me. My friendships are over. My life is ruined. But then you put your phone down and there's still a whole world outside of TikTok. Your family, your hobbies, your school, your pets, your creative projects, your friends who are still there, your future, and I think sometimes we need to remember that. Back to the story. So, where does that leave me? Honestly, I don't completely know. I'm still processing it. I'm still hurt. I'm still confused, but I'm also learning. I'm gonna respect the boundaries that were given to me. I'm gonna be more thoughtful about edits involving other people. I'm gonna stop trying to force answers from people who don't want to talk to me, and I'm gonna keep working on my podcast because that's something I love. And I'm not going to let one painful situation make me stop creating. Final message. So if you're listening to this and you're going through friendship drama right now, I just want you to know you don't have to immediately figure everything out. You don't have to know exactly why somebody changed. You don't have to chase someone for an exclamation. And you don't have to turn your hurt into hate. Sometimes you just have to take a step back, breathe, let things settle, and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Because that's what I'm trying to do. I don't know why I just spoke in a British accent. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, but I'm gonna respect the people involved. I'm gonna keep the private stuff private, and I'm gonna keep moving forward because, yeah, this hurt. I'm still here. I'm still creating. I'm still doing my podcast. And I'm still going to be very dramatic, obviously. And that is where I'm going to end today's episode. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to me talk through probably one of the weirdest situations I've ever experienced. And if you're listening and you've ever suddenly lost a friend, I hope you know you're not the only person. Whoever sat there wondering what the heck just happened, sometimes you don't get every answer. Sometimes people need space. Sometimes you make mistakes. Sometimes things just change. But whatever happens, try to learn from it. Don't let one situation define you. Thank you guys so much for listening. And remember, stay kind, keep smiling, and of course, stay dramatic. And always come back to the Drama Podcast. Alright, bye guys.